It is a really gross, cold, and rainy day. And it has been for days. So I'm finally just buckling down and making a video of what I'm doing inside. Maybe we can pop out there for a second because there's a couple new things I want to show you. But first, I just thought I would show you what's going on in our house today. So I actually just got done with some school stuff with the boys. We were working on some math down here and just reading some stories. And they're actually having their tablet time right now, which means I have some time to make a video. Bear's hanging out down here with me and taking a video of my floor is telling me that that needs to be next on the to-do list because it's pretty dirty. We've had several questions about the floors down here. This is like an opaque stained concrete. And it's really, really nice because it's really sturdy and it was really cheap, which is one of the reasons why we did it. But it shows dirt so fast. It has to be swept and mopped. I mean, really every day if it's gonna actually look clean. It wasn't swept and mopped yesterday or today, and that's why it looks like this. Because of course, coming in from the garage there, usually we have dirty feet. What do you think, Bear? What do you think, baby? Are you bummed? So this is my desk workspace, and this is where I've been for this last little bit. The video that will go up today is currently uploading because we forgot to start it last night, so it's gonna be late in the day today. Our internet is awful where we live out in the country. This is kind of one of those unspoken things about doing YouTube, is that there is a lot of editing and uploading and just all of that stuff that goes into it. But it is part of the job, and sometimes I will literally drive into town if I have other errands, and I take my laptop with me and will upload videos on my hotspot on my phone because it's so much faster in town. Rural internet is like a real issue. We just usually think ahead and start the videos uploading the night before and let them go overnight because they take about 8 to 10 hours to upload. It takes like 20 minutes in town, but we forgot last night. So if you ever see a video get up at like 4 or 5 in the evening, it's because we forgot to start the upload the night before. One of the tasks that is on my current to-do list is to make my list of what I'm starting and to go ahead and start my peppers and my eggplants. I was trying to decide if I want to do those indoors underneath lights and on heat mats, or if I want to do them out in the greenhouse on heat mats. I think I'm probably going to do them indoors because I really want to get a head start on peppers and eggplants this year because I've had such a bad go with them the last couple years. But right here I have my tomato seed collection. My friend Nunda gave me this case. It's actually like a photo case, and I'm pretty sure she got it at Michael's. I know you can get them at Michael's. And they come with all these little boxes that are 4x6 to hold pictures, but they're the perfect size to hold seed packages as well. So I have all of my tomato seeds here sorted out. Like this is striped and streaked, multicolor, medium, large. And I've got them all separated by like type, kind of what makes sense to me, like purples and blacks, yellows and golds. There's Wild Boar Farms, medium and large. So they're all separated, and then I also have over here, oh excuse me Bear, I have a drawer that is all the little tomato seeds that I've gotten from viewers and in swaps, and these are all just like really random, and some of them are really rare. Some of them are some of the same ones that I have in my little case over there. So I want to go through all of these and make my list of what I'm going to grow this year. I'll be sure to share that with you guys once I have it made. It's not made yet, and it's not anywhere near made. I just keep sitting there and looking through them, and I've ordered some more seeds. It's just so silly, but I actually was out of seeds of some of my favorite. Like I didn't actually have any Paul Robeson seeds or Dr. Witchy seeds, so I had to get some more of those. Here's some parts of our house you never see, and I'm not really going to take you in there, but that's our laundry room, and it's probably fairly messy, so we'll just leave that off the video. I finally got that cow hung up. Perfect spot for it there at the end of the hallway. We got our kids these plasma cars for Christmas, and they're actually really, really fun. and you can ride them if you're under 250 pounds, so yeah. Yeah, I've definitely ridden those down the hallway. Hey Toby, you having tablet time? Mm-hmm. You enjoying it? I'm glad. We've had a lot of people ask us if we're like a anti-screen family, and we're not. You've probably seen we have like TVs and stuff. We don't have cable or anything like that, and we don't watch a whole lot of TV. We don't like have the TV on all the time by any means. But our kids have tablets. Our kids play video games. Not a lot. We reserve video games for the weekend. That's a weekend thing. We don't do that during the week. And we do like an hour of tablet time in the afternoon, which is kind of like my time to get things done like this. There's Benny and Ezra. Hey guys. Now this is what I did earlier today. This is not yet quite set up yet. It's still pretty warm. I made several jars of jam here. I did not pressure can it. I couldn't find my big water bath pot that I use, so I just used the pot from my pressure canner. I just didn't use the lid. So I water bath these in that pot. And it looks like they all set, which is nice. Jam is one of those things that I have a really hard time spending money on, because we do try to buy organic food, and like jars of organic jam are like $4 each. And I usually make a lot of it in the spring whenever berries are in season, and I can buy strawberries locally at a farm. I'll go buy multiple flats and make a lot of jam. But usually by about this time, I guess I just don't ever make enough, because by about this time I'm running out and I'm having to buy that at the store, and we don't use just a lot of it, so that batch right there will last me until the strawberries come back into season. And those are just frozen berries. I just bought like a bag of organic frozen berries at the supermarket and some organic sugar, and so for the cost of like 2 little jars of already made jam, I made all of that, and it'll last us until probably like April or so when the berries come back in. Y'all see my prayer plant? This was actually really special to me because it was from my mother-in-law's funeral, and I've absolutely been a plant murderer. I've had a lot of people ask for like a tour of my houseplants, and to be honest, like I've never been great at keeping houseplants alive. I had like a peace lily that stayed with me for years at one point, and I killed that one. I think when I had one of my babies, that one died. I can't remember. And then I had a bunch of plants from my mother-in-law's funeral, and most of those died. It was kind of sad, but in the spring, I actually had this picture, and one of my friends overlaid it with some text, because I took this picture and this little windowsill was just covered in dead plants, and the garden out the window was completely like lush and beautiful and green. And I took a picture of it and sent it to my friend, and she sent it back, and the text said, "Should have lived outside." Obviously I'm starting over again. I've had this peace lily for a while. This is actually Toby's plant, and it was getting torn up by the front door, so we moved it over here. And I've been doing okay with these. I had to go to a funeral of a friend the other day and brought this home. I was given that. And then I've got my beautiful amaryllis here. Isn't that lovely? All open and bringing some color. This one actually has not sent up a flower yet, so this one should still bloom. And these paper whites already did bloom, and they're done. I've got one more little thing sticking up here, so I'm gonna get one more set of blooms off of these. My mother still has a house plant that she sent to her mother when her mother was in the hospital before she passed away. And it's been like, see, that was 98. So I mean, it's been a hot minute that she's had this plant, and it's still alive. But my mom has like, her house is like a jungle. You go in and there's just tons of plants, and they're massive. She has just like massive, like pots so huge that I can't move them. And I always imagine like myself wanting to be that person, but I guess I'm just like wildly negligent of houseplants. I've always done really well with food plants, but I'm really trying to push myself into more ornamentals. And I had, you know, with the potager garden, I've got the flowers throughout the edibles, and that's great, but I don't know. I've got a couple houseplants though. That bad boy on the windowsill is kind of my pride and joy houseplant because everybody told me that those were easy to kill. If they're not, please don't burst my bubble and tell me otherwise right now because I've kept that little plant alive and it has made me brave enough to get more plants. I actually need to carry this downstairs. I got a soil test. I'm gonna test my soil, see what's up in my beds and also in the new areas where we're doing gardens. And I also got some little bags to bag up seeds, to share some seeds. So I want to do a little bit of organizing for our shindig this year. We've talked a little bit about that. I'll put a link down below to the information about the shindig, but it is the first weekend in April and I really want to make the seed swap awesome this year. And I want to bring quite a lot of seeds from my own collection. And so I'm just gonna spend some time and print out some labels and start breaking up some seed packages and also my own saved seeds to be able to share with you guys at the shindig. So I was gonna step outside and show you guys our new animals, and the kids heard me open the front door. The front door is squeaky, and so I had to wait for them to get their shoes and jackets on. It's still drizzling a little bit out here, but we've been cooped up for the last 2 days with yucky weather, and they were ready to come out. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Oh, this is just lovely.
You like to be in the mud?
I was being a little sarcastic, but...
And I just have
this won't dry up until May. I let our doggies out because it was finally not raining. Whoa! What do you guys think? They are big.
Wow, you think those are
So one of the additions is that we got a couple of feeder hogs to finish feeding out. Our friend Ben Vincent at VW Family Farm helped us find these that someone had for sale. And we've just kind of got like a little temporary pen for them up towards the front because they're new to us and they don't know us, and we couldn't lead them with a bucket back to the back. And when you're dealing with animals this large, you want to be safe. So we just made a little pen for them here, and they don't know us yet. This is our first time meeting them, and they are huge.
probably going clean.
Why is it so tempting to put your foot in the mud for a little boy? Huh?
Because we're farm boys.
Oh, is it just in your nature?
Mm-hmm.
So they hopped up and ran back into the woods, and I really don't want to alarm them. Oh, hello, Gabriel. I don't want to alarm them. Can you guys see them right there? They're pretty big. They're actually already largely grown out. Let's hop in the greenhouse real quick and see what's going on here. It's cold. Y'all, gray days like this make me feel a little gray inside. What about you?
Why? They got water too much.
Yeah, you got too much water?
Mom, look at this. It's so green now. Mom, is that supposed to be an eating plant?
Yes, that's kale. You want to eat it?
You should take it off before it dies.
It's not going to die.
Yes, it will. Some of it's yellow kill.
It's okay.
I don't like
I
only like kill chips. I only like kill chips. I don't like yellow kill. Wet out
You
here.
pulled that whole plant up, bro. Don't eat that root.
Wet out here.
Oh, here are my seedlings chugging along. Some of them are starting to get their first real leaves. Doing okay. I'll come down.
For the cows over there. Big.
No, we don't have enough room for a cow, baby.
So they have to be
Toby
like they're like.
watched a YouTube video.
And then
Don't know who it was, but somebody who got a cow. And whoever it was said that they were able to make lots of homemade ice cream from their cow. And since then, Toby has been fixated on having a cow, which we have decided not to do here. We'll make ice cream from our goat's milk when our goats get back in milk, okay?
cows can make more.
Cows can make more. So here's our new goatie girl, Miss Winona. Yeah, you can go in and pet her. So I found this La Mancha right here on Facebook. It's okay. They're working it out. They've been getting along. Hey guys, let's go back inside. It's really cold.
I know. We can go to pet her.
Okay, you can go pet her quickly. So I found her on Facebook Marketplace, and I shared about it on a live. And actually, one of our viewers, Miss Lynn, lived near there, and she actually messaged me and messaged the owner, and she told me that she would be willing to transport her for me if I wanted to purchase her. And so we actually bought Winona. We actually also got a buck with her, a little young buck, and they're both fitting in really well. She's a little on the skinny side, which wasn't alarming to me because I've had goats that were hard to keep weight on before. Random oven mitt by the front door. Is that just life with kids? They told me, whenever Lynn told me when she went to pick her up, that they said that, you know, that they had been having a hard time keeping weight on her and all of that. And I told her that I was not concerned about that, that we have had a couple of goats that were a little bit of a struggle when it came to that, and that we've pulled through. All my goats are like super fat right now, and everybody's really healthy. So I felt confident to tackle that, and she's doing really well. We had her isolated and keeping an eye on her, and we just put her out with the herd. She came from a clean and checked herd, and so I feel really good about it. I'm super pumped to have her. She's a La Mancha, the buck is a La Mancha, and so I'm feeling really good about kind of moving in that direction with my herd. I'm really starting to feel ready for spring. I can really feel that, but as I've shared before, I just can remember year after year when spring in full force hits. Like, I remember one point I was up, it was like 10 something at night, and I was coming in from the barn, and I had been out there milking, and we had, I think, like 6 goats in milk at the time. I was hand milking, and so it's just a really time consuming chore. And then I was bottle feeding because we had some rejected babies, and this was after being out in the garden, and I had just been working for hours, and I came in at like 10 something, and I still had to strain the milk, and I still had to do a couple of other little chores. And I remember this was in like early April, I think, and I remember standing there and looking at like these tasks I had to do before I could go just crash. I was so tired, and remember thinking it was just like a handful of weeks ago that I was yearning for spring, and here we go. It's time to buckle down. It's time to work hard. And so I really have gotten a lot better about right now focusing on that and just being like, okay, it's gonna be time to grind here in just a couple of months. Like, right now is time to sit back, to write, to rest, to plan. And it does feel a little gray. That has not gone away. I drink too much tea and coffee in the winter, I think. I have to like make myself drink water. But overall, part of kind of my self-care, I guess I would say, is making sure that I'm staying in a place of feeding my spirit, feeding my soul well, and staying in a place of devotion and writing and journaling, so that I don't give in to those gray feelings. It's just like a matter of there they are, and it's okay, and I take care of myself and embrace the season very intentionally. So that's where I'm at right now. It never fails whenever I put videos out during this time. People are like, are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. It's just January. So thank you guys for hanging out with us today for this little gray January day. I bless you. Until next time.